Here is what you need to know about the conflict between the Ethiopian government of Abiy Ahmed Ali and the Tigray People's Liberation Front. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was hailed as a regional mediator after he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. He is now in charge of a long-running civil war that has the potential to destabilize the Horn of Africa area. Abiy Ahmed ordered a military offensive in northern Tigray in November 2020, promising that the situation would be handled swiftly. After a year of conflict, thousands have died, more than 2 million people have been displaced, starvation has risen, and a wave of horrors has escalated. Long before a feud between Ethiopian central government and the region's former ruling party, the Tigray People's Liberation Front (TPLF), erupted into rebellion, Ethiopia faced enormous economic, ethnic, and political issues. However, with hostilities intensifying in other parts of Ethiopia, fears are mounting that the conflict in Tigray could start a larger crisis that could split Africa's second most populous country. Here is a closer look at Ethiopia's escalating violence. The Tigray conflict has its roots in tensions that go back generations in Ethiopia. The country is divided into 10 regions and 2 cities, each of which has significant autonomy, including regional police and militia. A considerable number of federal troops are stationed in Tigray as a result of a past confrontation with Eritrea. The majority of regional governments are split along ethnic lines. The TPLF had ruled Ethiopia with an iron grip for decades before Abiy Ahmed came to power, overseeing a period of stability and economic prosperity at the expense of basic civil and political rights. The autocratic governance of the party sparked a popular movement, forcing Abiy's predecessor, Haile Mariam Desalegn, to quit. In 2018, Abiy Ahmed was appointed by the ruling class to quell tensions and bring change, without upending the old political order. But almost as soon as he became prime minister, Abiy announced the rearrangement of the ruling coalition that the TPLF had founded, the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Front, or EPRDF, which was composed of 4 parties, into a single new prosperity party, ostracizing the TPLF in the process. Abiy Ahmed's push for a new pan-Ethiopian political party generated fears in some parts of the country that the country's federal structure, which gives ethnically defined states like Tigray significant autonomy, was under threat. Tigray's leaders retreated to their mountainous homeland in the north, where they maintained power over their own regional administration. Tensions reached a boiling point in September 2020 when Tigrayans defied the central government by holding regional parliamentary elections, which was postponed due to the coronavirus outbreak. The vote was declared unconstitutional by the government and lawmakers stopped financing to the TPLF leadership, igniting a tit-for-tat sequence of escalations between the regional and federal governments. Abiy Ahmed ordered a military assault against the TPLF on November 4, 2020, after accusing the group of attacking a federal army base outside Tigray's regional capital Mekelle and attempting to steal its weapons. He sent in national troops and fighters from the neighboring Amhara region, as well as soldiers from Eritrea. Abiy Ahmed declared the offensive a success after just 3 weeks, when government forces took over Mekelle and installed an interim administration loyal to Addis Ababa. But a year on, it's far from over. Ethiopia's government declared a unilateral ceasefire in June when Tigrayan forces retook the regional capital Mekelle. But the TPLF categorically ruled out a truce, and the fighting has spread beyond Tigray's borders into the neighboring Amhara and Afar regions. As they have pushed the front line further south, fighters loyal to the TPLF, known as the Tigray Defense Forces (TDF), have allied with the Oromo Liberation Army (OLA), a rebel group fighting for the rights of people from Oromia, Ethiopia's most populous region. Last month, the Ethiopian military intensified airstrikes on Mekelle and other cities in Tigray in an attempt to target them at the source of their alleged bases. In recent days, Ethiopian president pledged to bury his government's enemies. The rapid advance of the fighters, who said they had seized Dessie and Kombolcha, 2 key towns on the road to Addis Ababa, has raised concerns among Ethiopia's leaders that the capital could fall. It is unclear, though, whether the rebels have the firepower to take the city, and there are conflicting reports as to how close they are to the capital. World leaders have expressed concern over the Ethiopian government's restriction of aid to Tigray and the role of Eritrean soldiers in escalating the problem as the war and its impact on civilians worsen. Senior Biden administration officials have warned Ethiopia that unless it takes meaningful actions to end the ongoing violence and alleviate the humanitarian crisis by the start of 2022, it will lose access to a valuable U.S. trade program. In a statement to Congress on November 1, President Joe Biden decided that Ethiopia is in violation of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, qualifying conditions for serious violations of internationally recognized human rights. To stay in the program, the Ethiopian government must take immediate action by January 1. The program allows qualifying sub-Saharan African countries duty-free access to the US market for thousands of products. According to the authorities, the US government is planning to impose penalties on participants to the dispute as a result of an executive order signed by Biden in September. The State Department has previously announced visa restrictions for Ethiopian and Eritrean government officials, and the Biden administration has imposed wide-ranging restrictions on economic assistance to the country. But it is not clear whether efforts by the US and other countries to force Ethiopia's hand have made much of a difference.